That stigma would last for over a century. Slowly, the good news was carried into the cities, into the town, but then came the communist takeover in 1949. That's where the story turns in a new direction. The communists came to power, and there were perhaps at that time, get this, 700,000 Christians at that point. So this dude had died, but long past that, Christians were coming up. They were coming up. Now we have 700,000, but for years, because the communists came, we were persecuted. Pastors were imprisoned, and the churches were destroyed. Many lost their lives for the faith. But the curtain began to lift in 1980. Does anybody remember 1980? I don't. I was sorry. I raised my hand. Yes, I do. 1980. 1980, the curtain began to lift, and people were thinking, man, the Christian church is dead. We're not going to be able to get them again. We're not going to be able to get in there. It took us so long to get there. It took us over 100 years, or less. During the years of the oppression, 700,000 Christians turned into 10 million, even though they were being oppressed. Today, the church in China numbers 130 million people. It's the most amazing story of church growth in the last 100 years. Today in China, there are more Christian members than the Communist Party. I mentioned that to reflect on the faith of that one man in 1814 that saw the day when millions of Chinese would come to Christ. That's how faith works. And I'm telling you that the day I got here in Royalston, this place is going to revive. And I'm serious about that. I remember talking to Mike and Sue. I said, there's something big that's going to happen here. And that's our youth group is Revival Town. Because that's what it's about. This church is going to grow. And I'm not just for the numbers, not just because we want to see this church filled, not just because we want the offering a little bigger. It's because we want people saved.
Amen.
To tell you the truth, I don't care. To tell you the truth, now, you can not record this part. I don't care if they come here or not. I want them saved. I don't care if they go to Orange Church. I don't care if they go to a Rhode Island church. I don't care if they go to a Bible study at his house or my house. His is Chris, by the way. Hi, Chris.
Hi.
It doesn't matter. It's that they're saved. But in that, I hope numbers will grow. People will come. We'll meet new people.
Yep.
I hope that we were going to do this a couple of weeks ago. We were going to put non-Christian names up there that we were going to pray for. Just first names, not to be crazy for the whole name and address, but just a name, Chris. And then I was thinking in my head, we were going to pray for that person. And then one day I would get to pray for that person in person. They would be here. And then I would get to see them saved, and we could rip that name right off the wall. How awesome would that be? Think about that one person. Write that on a piece of paper on your own. Put it somewhere. Put it on the fridge next to that A+ or that F, depending on who you are. Put it down, because in a couple of years, you can rip that name off. In a couple of months, you can rip that name off. Tomorrow, you can rip that name off. God is you're going to see things happen at this church. Who will be the next hero of the faith? Why not you? Who will respond to God's call? Who will stand up against the world? Who will step out in faith? Who will march around the walls? Who will dream big dreams for God? Who will lead the way for your family to follow? Who will risk opposition from the world? Who will become the next Abraham, the next Sarah, the next David, the next Esther? Who will give up the pleasures of this world for the sake of the cross? Why not you? We've seen the plaques on the walls of schools, buildings, churches, hospitals. Those plaques list the name of people who have made the building possible. But if you look closely, there's always more room at the bottom for more people. Well, God has a plaque of names too. And if you look closely at the bottom, there's plenty of more room for names. There's room for you, and there's room for me. By faith. This song, I don't know where it's from, but I really like it. I want to kind of make it our church motto song. I made that up. Some of you may know it. I don't know. Oh, may all who come behind us find us faithful.
Yes.
May the fire of our devotion light their way. May the footprints that we leave lead them to believe, and the lives we inspire them to obey. Oh, may all who come behind us find us faithful. Can I have my youth worship team come out here real quick? I think a great commitment to the Great Commission will produce a great church. Remember that. A great commitment to the Great Commission will produce a great church. Can you say that with me? A great commitment to the Great Commission will produce a great church. A great commitment to the Great Commission will produce a great church. All right, so next week when Pastor comes, what did you learn? Go. A great commitment to the Great Commission will produce a great church. I think we have a great church now. but I think they could get a whole lot better. And to tell you the truth, I think we can get a whole lot better. I don't care if we get a new painting, or if we get a new cross. I like that cross section. Or a crazy sound system. As long as our hearts are changing every day.
Amen.
I'll do it downstairs all the time. I don't care. We can have church outside and under a tree. As long as our hearts are changing and we're inviting new people to Christ's family, that's all we need.
Amen.
Can you stand with me really quick? We're going to pray.